Watch this carefully. The media will frame this as a heated exchange and move on. But what you're about to see is something deeper. A member of Congress tries to enter one document into the official record, a public claim from the Attorney General, and another member fights to block it. Not with a rebuttal, not with counter evidence, with procedure, with word games. Because when it's not on paper, it's easier to deny later. And what happens next shows you exactly why.
Sorry, is that a court order? Well, I object.
No, she can put anything she wants in the record. She's not complying to your request, Mr. Goldman.
She asked for unanimous consent.
Okay, so you're objecting to her putting that into the record?
I am objecting subject to a clarification. Is that a court order that establishes that he's a member of MS-13?
An immigration judge agreed that he was MS-13.
For bail purposes.
An appellate board agreed.
Don't misrepresent.
Hold on.
A judge.
Everybody pause. We're going to let one person talk at a time. You ask a question. Answer the question, please.
According to the Attorney General of the United States, she informed the country that an immigration judge agreed that your Maryland man, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, is MS-13. An appellate board agreed. ICE officers
you are misstating
agreed.
what
A reliable
Mr. Goldman,
informant.
the clock is not yours right now. She has the floor. Please continue answering the question.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A Maryland County
She's not answering the question, sir.
No, she's going to answer the question, and then you can object to her answer.
Can you make sure that she answers the question?
Finish answer. You just said, please finish your answer.
A Maryland County Police gang unit agreed that he's MS-13. A reliable confidential informant agreed that he's MS-13. ICE officers agreed that he's MS-13. An immigration judge agreed that he's MS-13. An appellate board agreed that Kilmar Abrego Garcia, your Maryland man, is MS-13.
Okay.
I object.
Have the floor. What do you want to say?
I object because she is misstating the record and the facts. That is not accurate, and therefore I object to that being introduced.
Mr.
Sir,
Chairman?
can I explain? You let her go on.
Go ahead.
There is no final court order establishing that he's a member. Maybe he is. So you should put all that evidence before a judge, and if he is MS-13, he should be deported. That's what we're talking about, but you're misstating what all of that evidence is.
No, I think I'm going to make a point here. You basically just read what the Attorney General said, correct?
Yes, sir.
You didn't assert that this was a court order, did you? Did you assert that this was a court order?
I read the Attorney General of the United States.
And you have a right on our committee to submit for unanimous consent or a vote if we want to put it to a vote. This for the record, correct? Is that it?
Yes.
That is correct. Okay,
Mr. Chairman,
she has a right.
Could I review what she is submitting?
No, she can submit something to this committee.
But it matters that she just said she represented exactly what the Attorney General said. She has a document there. I would like to see that document.
Let's make a copy for everybody, and we'll vote on. I'm going to hold on just a second. We're going to hold. You're calling for the question? We're calling for the question. The clerk, we're going to need to set. Hold on just a second. Brief recess.
Please, let's get this on the historical record.
This is great.
We voted in order.
All right, there's
Mr. Higgins, I'm just asking to see the document.
I have the floor. All right, so we have a motion to vote on the submission of this for the record. That's all that has been stated. And
I have a parliamentary inquiry, sir.
Do not interrupt me again. We are on the vote on whether or not this can be entered into the record. A motion has been made, and we will vote on that motion. All of those in favor.
I have a parliamentary inquiry before we vote, sir.
Mr. Ranking Member.
It's our request that we object. And in the middle of the objection, you consider a motion, which...
He was done talking about Mr.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. You stopped him from talking.
I just have a parliamentary inquiry.
A parliamentary inquiry. Okay, go ahead. You have the floor.
Is it the procedure of this committee that someone who is making an objection to the admission of evidence cannot review that evidence before we vote on it?
Yeah, the content is irrelevant to the motion, and the motion has been made to vote on the submission for the record.
The content is irrelevant? I mean, that's what I'm objecting to. If she is accurate in what her representation is, I will withdraw my objection. I just need to see the document.
Somebody walk the thing over there and let him read it. I mean, get to the bottom of this quickly. We'll hold on your vote, Mr. Ogles.
Mr. Chairman, given that this is a tweet from the Attorney General that is effectively, I believe, consistent with what Ms. Taylor Greene says, I withdraw my objection.
Gentleman withdraws his objection. I now recognize, who's up? Mr. Jimenez for his 5 minutes of questioning.
What you just saw wasn't a minor interruption. It was a live demonstration of how Washington plays games with truth. Representative Greene asked unanimous consent to enter a statement into the record, an Attorney General's public claim about Kilmar, Abrigo Garcia, and alleged MS-13 ties. Congressman Goldman didn't rebut it with counter evidence. He tried to stop it at the gate. Is that a court order? Now pause. If you think the claim is wrong, why not let it into the record and then dismantle it? Why fight to keep it off the page? Because the record is accountability. If it's not in the record, it's easier to deny later, easier to spin, easier to memory hole. But let's confront the reality head on. This wasn't a courtroom, it was oversight. Oversight is supposed to be sunlight, forcing agencies and leaders to answer hard questions in public. The final court order demand sounds reasonable until you see what it does. It moves the goalposts. It says, unless the entire judicial process is already finished, we're not even allowed to discuss the evidence that started it. That's not how national security works. That's not how border enforcement works. And yes, Green's side has a problem too. If this is serious, if the government truly believes someone is tied to a violent gang, the public deserves more than a tweet. They deserve receipts, a paper trail, documentation that can stand up in court and in the court of public opinion. So what did we actually watch? We watched one side pushing to place a public assertion on the record, and we watched the other side resisting, not by disproving it, but by stalling and treating the record like a weapon to control. Then came the moment that should bother every citizen. It took a recess just so a member could look at the document and decide whether the description matched the text. In a Homeland Security hearing, it was too much to simply let someone read the evidence before voting on it. This isn't just dysfunction, it's cowardice. It's the instinct to manage optics before dealing with substance. And notice what wasn't said. Nobody stood up and read the underlying evidence on the merits. Nobody asked, what does the Department of Homeland Security actually have in writing and what standard was used? The conversation was steered away from substance and into process, because process is where you can win without being right. And why it matters is bigger than this one name. If our leaders can't agree on basic transparency, how are they going to handle the next border surge, the next fentanyl pipeline, the next cartel-linked trafficking case? A nation that can't speak honestly about threats can't defeat them. And a government that treats transparency like partisan leverage will lose the trust that holds it together. So here's the standard we should demand, every time, from everyone. If there is evidence, put it on the table. If there is a court order, cite it. If there isn't, say that clearly. No insinuations, no procedural smokescreens, because the American people aren't asking for theater. We're asking for truth. Law-abiding Americans pay the price when truth is negotiated behind procedure. And what happens next depends on who is brave enough to put the truth in black and white. If you want more breakdowns like this, without the spin, subscribe, share, and tell me in the comments, was that objection about accuracy or about control?